All right, let's take a look at transformations, and there are a few different ways that you can transform a function, and we'll start by looking at reflections. So this first one, and remember everything is based off of the function. Um, you start with the function f of x. Okay, so if I want to reflect when I'm comparing these two, f of x to f of negative x, then I'm going to get a transformation. In this case, it's going to be flipped across um, the y-axis. And what that will look like, we draw, give you a little graph here. Y-axis, x-axis. So if I have a point that is whatever the point is, x is here, when I this particular reflection is going to produce that same point, but it's flipped across the y-axis. So this would be negative x. In other words, if this is 5, then plugging in negative 5 just flips it across the y-axis. Excuse me. Right? If we look at this next example, when we compare the f of x to negative f of x, then let's see what that looks like graphically first. If I take a point, and let's see here, and if I have a point here, and whatever value that I plug in for x, the outcome, like whatever the outcome is, let's say the value here happens to be 5, and then the outcome is going to be positive 7. In this case, well, I'm starting with the original function, f of x. You plug in a 5, get out a 7. Based on this reflection here, a negative f of x, if I plug in a 5, I should get out a negative 7. So in other words, this thing is going to end up, this point, its reflection, the negative f of x is going to end up flipped across the x-axis. Okay. Flipped across x-axis. And if you ever get confused, like it does help to go ahead and draw your x and y axis and plot your original point. That's your f of x, your x and f of x, and then apply the transformation and see where the resulting point is, and it'll tell you whether it's being flipped across the x-axis or the y-axis.